Document analysis is a branch of forensic science that refers to the scientific examination, comparison, and analysis of documents in question to establish the authenticity of forgery, to uncover the alterations or deletions, and to determine the authorship based on handwriting, text, marks, and other relative impressions. This analysis uses a variety of scientific techniques and methods such as chromatographic and spectroscopy techniques for deriving compositional profile of pen inks and paper. Thus, by comparing the profiles of question and non-inks, we could determine if the suspect could have prepared the question document. It is also important to emphasize here that forensic document examiner is different from graphologists. The former aims is also to analyze the question documents for solving a crime case, whereas the latter attempts to identify the character or habit of a person based on their writing. In today's activity, we will focus on ink analysis, which is a very simple yet important technique in this field. Ink analysis can provide important forensic evidence in an investigation where a particular document is alleged to have been tampered with in some way in order to change its original wording. For your information, for example, analysis of the ink on a check may reveal that it has been altered to increase the amount of money. Alternatively, it can provide the police with an indication of the type of pen and ink used to write the ransom demand in a kidnapping case. It may also even be possible to provide the police with the name of the possible brand of the ink that is being used. For your information, different types of pens have different ink composition. Bear that in your mind. However, all of these pens have one thing in common, which is they all use dyes or pigments or mixture of dye and pigments to give the color. Pigment is not different from dye that cannot be dissolved. Hence, only dye-based pen inks can be analyzed using liquid chromatographic techniques. Liquid chromatographic techniques includes TLC, HPLC, and UPLC. The dye will be separated when it travels along the solvents through a TLC plate or HPLC column. To put it simply, this is how ink chromatography works. In order to achieve the desired pen ink color, the manufacturers often include more than one type of dye into the ink formulation. Each of the dyes can have different molecular structure and weight. When they are traveling along the plate or column, separation occurs that heavier compound will travel slower than the heavier one. Eventually, the mixture is separated into separate components of which will be seen as separate bonds in the TLC plate. Thus, the heavier dyes will separate out first and move more slowly while the lighter dyes keep moving faster up the paper, creating the tie-dyed or wash-out effect known as color bands. Let me share with you about a famous case that happened recently relating to this topic, which is in January 2020, our former Prime Minister, which is Najib Abdul Razak's signature, is said to may have been forged in a key piece of evidence in his RM42 million SRC International SDN BHD. So, in order to identify whether the signature is genuine or not, the forensic scientists will carry out handwriting analysis, including the ink chromatography analysis, to provide the evidence in solving this case. Hence, today, we will be sharing with you on how to do the ink chromatography at home in the simplest way possible. It's gonna be fun! To do that, we are going to solve a hypothetical crime. So here is our case. A dead body was found in a room shared by two students. Near the body, a ransom note was found written with "I quit" in blue-colored pen ink on a piece of white E4 paper. In the process of gathering clues, a Pilot PP1 Artifine blue pen was found in the crime scene with the victim's fingerprint on it. So now, you might think that this is a suicide case, is it? But let's not jump into a conclusion yet and find evidence to solve the case. Nevertheless, one more Faber-Castell Eco Gel blue pen was seized from the suspect, who was the roommate of the victim at the crime scene. As a forensic scientist, you are required to analyze all these two pen samples to determine the matching ink source with the one deposited on the ransom note, which is the question document.